Have you ever felt called to a significant project? Maybe it's in business, maybe it's in family. You know it's important. You feel the urge to engage with it, and yet you just find yourself struggling to persevere. Maybe it's distraction of one sort or another, an interesting side project, or an attractive opportunity that maybe going to take you away from this, or maybe it's opposition. People are frustrated with your behavior and how you're handling the project. Maybe it's people just don't want you to do it, and you find yourself afraid, and you're losing strength for it. Nehemiah was a Jewish man, high official in the Persian Empire, felt called to go back to Jerusalem to rebuild the walls after it had been destroyed in the exile. And he goes back, and as he's rebuilding it, the neighbors around, the foreign powers, don't like the idea of a strong Jerusalem. So they make fun of him, they threaten him, but he's moving along in the project. And finally, the surrounding powers are getting serious. They need to get Nehemiah off of this project. And first they do it through flattery. Hey, you're one of us now. You're a regional governor. Why don't you come talk with us? But he knows that they mean him harm, so the flattery is not working. And then they resort to not the carrot, but the stick. You need to meet with us. We are intent on getting you off this project. How do we deal with situations like that? And I think it's helpful to look at Nehemiah chapter 6 to see how we find the strength to carry on with the things the Lord calls us to do. Let me read from chapter 6, verse 5. In the same way, Sanballat, for the fifth time, that was one of the regional governors, trying to distract Nehemiah from the project, for the fifth time sent his servant to me with an open letter in his hand, and in it was written, "It is reported among the nations," and Geshem also says it, that's another foreign dignitary, "that you and the Jews intend to rebel. That is why you are building the wall, and according to these reports, you wish to become their king. And you have also set up prophets to proclaim concerning you in Jerusalem, there is a king in Judah, and now the king will hear," and that's the king of Persia, Artaxerxes, "will hear of these reports. So now come and let us take counsel." Basically, they accuse Nehemiah of rebellion against the king of Persia. And he sends it in an open letter, which means anybody can read it as it's being passed along. Rumors start that way. "If you want me to put down the rumors, Nehemiah, you better come meet with me. Do it now." And that's a frightening moment when we feel under threat from authority, when we're trying to do the right thing and people just don't want us to do it. I remember a number of years ago, I discovered a senior leader in an organization was funneling money through kind of a backdoor account to help a very close friend, you might even say an adoptive child, to this leader. And technically there was a fund that he had discretion over, but there really was no supervision to it. And that fund was meant to fund, to write checks to organizations on behalf of someone in need, not to that person, but checks were being made out to that person. It was it just felt bad, looked bad. It wasn't right. And I had other staff members coming to me saying, "Hey, this isn't good. You need to do something about it." So me, what about you? No one wanted to say anything because they were afraid to get in trouble. No one wanted to report it up the chain. And I conferred with another leader. "Hey, what should I do? This isn't right, but I'm trying to think of the wise way to handle this." And that fellow leader said, "If you care about your job, you should just ignore this." When we face these moments when doing the right thing seems to be the dangerous thing, and it can make us feel weak. We lose strength in our hands. And that's the kind of moment Nehemiah is in. And his response is telling. In verse 8, it says, "Then I sent to him," back to Sanballat, "saying, no such things as you have been as you say, have been done, for you are inventing them out of your own mind. For they all wanted to frighten us, thinking their hands will drop from the work and it will not be done. But now, O God, strengthen my hands. There's this bold, confident response, writing back, you're making this up. I'm doing no such thing. I won't come to this meeting. It feels very bold and confident. And at the same time, he says at the end, Lord, strengthen my hands because I'm feeling weak. And that should be our response. Lord, help us to do the right thing. I wish I could say that as you seek to do the right thing, you're never going to face any challenges or opposition or threats, but we will. Engaging with family at home, you've been lax and like, oh man, I got to re-engage. So you do, and then your spouse says, oh, now you care, huh? Contributing to the community. Hey, I want to help out. Well, who asked you? Begin investing in your church. We'd love to help out with this. Well, we've never done it that way. We have these fears of failure and rejection, maybe a tarnished reputation, and it keeps us in our box. But here's what I would say. When you feel the urge, feel the call to do something right, do it. And as you feel strength sapping from your hands, turn to the Lord. The Lord's called you to do it. He will give you the provision to get it done. Lord, strengthen my hands. He's been faithful in the past. He will be faithful now. Turn to the Lord. Find your strength there. Blessings on you all.